So, Aimee Allison, it's wonderful to be here with you.
Thank you.
Are the president of Democracy in Color, the founder of She the People, this incredible event bringing together all sorts of women to talk about women of color in leadership and politics and activism. It is amazing. But I wanted to ask you a question, actually. So you have urged us black women to get information to support Stacey Abrams. Daily Kos has endorsed Stacey Abrams. I'm assuming that get information is a Beyonce reference, which I love.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So
because I knew if I said get information, that women of color would know.
We would know exactly what you're talking about.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah. So tell me, what does it mean for us to get information to you?
I mean, part of the reason that She the People, the summit, is today is to say we need to coalesce as a network and a power block. And then when we get information behind a courageous candidate who doesn't have institutional support, remember Stacey Abrams' own party, the Democratic Party in Georgia, recruited a white millionaire moderate to run against her. Let's not forget that.
Right.
And let's not forget that the majority of women of color who have run, some have lost, a lot have won. Very few get institutional support from the Democratic Party. So getting information behind a candidate like a Stacey Abrams or Ayanna Pressley out of Boston or an Ilhan Omar out of Minnesota, that means that we have our time and our treasure. We use our network, we use our power, and we recognize that we're creating our own pathway to leadership. That for black women, we never got credit for helping to elect President Obama. We never got credit for that.
Yeah.
But we were a major force, and black voters were a major force. So those times are over. It's time for us to say we have amongst ourselves incredible power that we need to tap to get behind the leaders that we want. And that's what getting information means.
Yes, that's amazing. I'm so excited to hear that. You have such an extensive background. I read that you were a combat medic.
Yes.
That you have run for office yourself. What is the advice that you have for women of color who are thinking about running for office?
Don't stop. Don't stop. It's quite something for someone to run for office, to be as vulnerable, but to stay grounded in who you are. Don't change. Like who you are, with all your foibles and all your loves and your messy and beautiful ways of addressing problems. Those are the things that we need in leaders. Don't give up. Don't change.
Yeah.
And most of all, create your own power network. That power comes from both being true to who you are, but also finding your own people, which is what She the People is about. Finding your own people to tap for support and for sustenance, because politics is not about an election cycle. It's really about a way of being.
Yeah.
And this is more than about politics for me. She the People is about love. It's about love of our communities. And so we're not going to go back to anything, take something back. We're not going to do that. We're taking everything forward.
Yeah.
It's about a justice agenda. It's about creating a country where everyone belongs. It's about women of color who are the saving graces of democracy.
Yeah.
And when we come from that place, nothing can touch us. And because people are yearning for that sense of love and authenticity, it gives us a unique position to be able to speak to people of all races, to speak to an inclusive, beautiful coalition.
Yeah, for sure. When women of color win, we all win. As I hear you talking, you said a lot about justice and love. And so it strikes me that in the midst of a really precarious political time, you sound really optimistic. What's keeping you going at a time like this?
Well, when I surround myself, look, women of color have every reason to be cynical because we've suffered. Our communities have suffered. We're on the bottom of every index you could measure. But there's something about our resilience and our wisdom, in particular in this moment, that is inspiring. I mean, from the stage and in my daily life, when I hear women of color talk about the possibility, we believe in a politics we have not yet seen. It's a faith. It's a deep faith that comes from being part of a group that's been discounted and dehumanized. And still we rise.
Yeah.
And there's something about the quality of that is magical and so needed in our country. So, where does the optimism come from? It comes from surrounding myself with these women of color who see a way out for the whole country. We have a way out of this mess. It's not about resisting, it's about transformation.
Yeah. Well, this is an incredible event. Again, I'm inspired just listening to you and thinking about all you want to do. I promise that I will be in formation with you to elect Stacey Abrams, our first African-American female governor. So thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, and thank you to Daily Kos for being such an amazing partner and supporter of this effort.
Thank you for allowing us to do that.